Hey y'all, some of my favorite people. I wanted to jump on and speak a word into your life that kind of challenged me, something I've been chewing on for maybe actually a couple weeks. It's one of those that the Lord kind of shows you something and you don't want to immediately act on it because it's not always comfortable, I guess you'd say. But I was discussing with my best friend. Shout out to Jessica Carter. We were chatting the other day, and sometimes actually you wind up saying out of your own mouth exactly what it is that you need to hear. That's kind of how Holy Spirit works. Is He prompts you to just say it. The thing that you've been praying about, the thing that you're needing to hear. He often speaks that word out of your own mouth because we're kind of wired and designed to believe what comes out of our mouth above what anyone else says or what comes out of anyone else's mouth. So I just kind of chuckle and I kind of giggle with that. Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? So she and I were talking about the concept of sin, ironically. Well, not really ironically, but we were talking about the concept of sin. And we have this concept in our minds as humans that there's greater sins, lesser sins, more evil sins, bad sins, where you fill in the blank. Well, not really. Sin is sin is sin is sin. It all distances us from God. It all pushes us away from His heart. It stands between us. Sin is equal, whether it's telling a white lie, whether it's blaspheming, or whether it's not going to church on Sunday, whether it's not honoring your parents, whichever of the 10. They're all on the same page. But there is one thing. So I've been working my way through the Bible again this year. Highly recommended if you have not read through the Bible. Pick up Bible Recap on your YouTube, or not YouTube. I'm sorry, YouVersion Bible app. Love Tara Lee Cobble. She's my coffee buddy. Love her. Great palatable way to work reading the Bible in a year into your life. So what were we talking? So as I've been reading, of course, we've been tracking and following those lovely Israelites, all, out of captivity in Egypt, into the wilderness, almost to the promised land. God lays out, sets up the tabernacle, sets up the Levitical system, tells everybody this is how you do it. This is how you're going to come into my presence. This is how you have a relationship with me. I love you. Let's do this thing together. And oh, by the way, here's the promised land. Let's go ahead and see what it's all about. So Moses sends the spies into the promised land just to see what's going on. What are we up against? What's it like? And so they come back, and all but 2 of them, so sent out 12 spies, 10 of them come back mumbling and complaining and grumbling. Oh, we can't do that. Those people they're giants, and we can't make it happen. We're going to stay right here. We just can't do it. Well, the people, of course, rise up against Moses. They rise up against Aaron. The Lord's like, I'm done. Forget it. I made a mistake. These people, how much longer must I deal with them? Moses, of course, intercedes on their behalf, but judgment is given. They're not allowed to enter the promised land because of their unbelief. Fast forward, so you'll find that story in Numbers chapter 14 if you want to go look at it for yourself. Numbers chapter 14. But the second time we see this happen is just a few chapters later. We get into chapter 20, and we see that once again those Israelites, those stiff-necked bunch of hooligans, they're complaining and mumbling and grumbling again because they don't have water. And this time they're at Meribah. And the Lord, Moses and Aaron, they go to the Lord. All right, Lord, what are we supposed to do? And He says, take your staff and go speak to the rock. I'm going to show myself strong. So Moses, bless goodness, he's kind of old at this point in time. He's probably frustrated with these hooligans. And he raises up his staff and he smacks the rock, not once, but twice. Now, this is how it worked last time, but that's not what God told him to do. God told him to speak to the rock. And so once again, there was unbelief connected to it. And so we see that the root cause of an entire generation dying out and them spending 40 years, 38 additional years in the wilderness is because of unbelief. And so I was challenged as I was thinking through this and talking with Jessica about it. How does unbelief keep us from the promised land that God has for us? You know, more than likely at that point in time, the Israelites were fornicating. They'd been worshiping other gods. They had been probably stealing from each other and lying. All of the 10, they'd probably been breaking them all. But that's not what kept them out of the promised land. What kept them out of the promised land was simply unbelief. And I really feel if you look at it and you examine the heart of the Father, unbelief really cuts him deep. If we think about our kids, we think about our family members, when someone doesn't believe us, that really, really cuts deep. And that's what we see with God. And so I challenge us and I leave us with the question, what is an area that you haven't fully believed God? And is that unbelief keeping you from the promised land that he has for you? I love you guys. Pray great things for you. See you soon. Bye.